She vanished inside a mirror at Willow Creek Manor. Scene 1. The house at the end of Willow Creek. Barely visible through the fog, the dirt road leading to Willow Creek Manor was narrow and uneven. Lila gripped the steering wheel tighter as her headlights swept over the crumbling "For Sale" sign. Branches scraping her car windows like fingernails. The old house had been abandoned for decades. Everyone in town whispered about its dark history. But Lila wasn't here for the rumors. She was here for answers. Her younger brother vanished near this place a year ago, and no one had ever found him. The front gate hung crooked on rusted hinges, creaking as she pushed it open. The air was unnaturally still. No crickets, no wind, just silence thick enough to feel in her chest. Her flashlight flickered as she stepped onto the overgrown path, weeds crunching under her boots. Inside, the house smelled of rotting wood and mildew. The once grand staircase loomed ahead, a chandelier swaying above without reason. Lila's breath formed pale clouds in the air. It was far too cold for summer. Scene 2. The Red Room. Lila climbed the stairs, each step groaning like a warning. Her flashlight revealed cracked photographs of stern-faced people. Eyes scratched out in every picture. A faint crimson glow seeped from a half-open door at the far end of the hallway. She approached slowly, heart hammering in her chest. Inside, the room was bathed in a strange red light from a single lamp, flickering erratically. In the center stood an antique rocking chair, swaying gently though there was no breeze. A child's doll lay in its seat, head tilted at an unnatural angle, its porcelain face cracked down the middle. Suddenly, a soft humming filled the air, a lullaby she hadn't heard since childhood. Lila froze. That was her mother's song. Scene 3. The Mirror's Secret. Lila's gaze was drawn to a massive, ornate mirror leaning in the corner. Its surface rippled like disturbed water, distorting her reflection. She stepped closer, flashlight trembling in her hand. Instead of her reflection, she saw her brother, pale, gaunt, and crying silently. He reached out, pressing his palm against the glass from the other side. "Ethan," Lila whispered. His mouth moved, forming words she couldn't hear. She leaned closer. Suddenly, a hand shot out from the mirror, skeletal and ice-cold, grabbing her wrist. Lila screamed and yanked back, but the hand held tight, pulling her toward the glass as if gravity itself had reversed. The doll fell from the rocking chair with a loud clunk. The lullaby grew louder, now distorted and layered with whispers. Scene 4. The House Awakens. Lila tore her arm free, stumbling backward. Blood dripped from deep scratches on her wrist. The house seemed to shudder, the walls groaning like a living thing. The hallway behind her stretched impossibly long, doors slamming shut one by one. She bolted down the stairs, but the front door was gone, replaced by another endless hallway, lined with flickering lamps. Shadows crawled along the walls, humanoid figures slithering closer. One whispered her name. Lila ran blindly, her flashlight flickering out entirely. Panic consumed her as the floorboards warped beneath her feet, forcing her into a spiral staircase that hadn't been there before. She stumbled down into a basement that smelled of earth and decay. Scene 5. The Basement Ritual. The basement was vast, lined with damp stone walls and rows of melted candles. In the center of the room stood another mirror, this one cracked and covered in strange symbols drawn in dried blood. Lila's breath came in ragged gasps. Ethan's reflection appeared again, but this time he was screaming, pounding on the glass as shadowy hands dragged him away. She lunged forward, pressing her hands to the mirror. I'm here, she cried. A cold voice whispered behind her, You came back, just like your mother. She turned to see a figure emerging from the darkness. A tall, faceless man in a tattered suit. He raised one hand, and the mirror's surface rippled violently. Ethan's image vanished. The figure's other hand reached for her face, and everything went to black. Scene 6. The New Doll. When the light returned, Lila wasn't standing anymore. She felt stiff, heavy. She couldn't move. The red room was pristine now, its furniture polished and clean. A child giggled softly. She tried to scream, but no sound came. Her vision caught a reflection in the mirror. She was sitting in the rocking chair. Her porcelain face was cracked down the middle. The faceless man placed a finger to his lips. Shushing her silently,